An NHL team with one Russian player has decided not to wear special warm-up jerseys to commemorate Pride Night, citing an anti-gay Kremlin law that could endanger Russian athletes when they return home. The Chicago Blackhawks, which have two other players with ties to Russia, will not be wearing Pride-themed warm-up jerseys before Sunday's Vancouver game due to safety concerns over the law that widens restrictions on promoting LGBTQ rights. Vladimir Putin signed the law in December. The decision appears to have been made by the Blackhawks after discussions with security guards inside and outside the franchise. Chicago coach Luke Richardson said on Thursday that he and his players were disappointed and described the situation as an unfortunate situation. "I don't think we can control world affairs. So it's taking our jobs," Richardson said. "We make the best decisions we can as an organization and for everyone." The league declined to comment through a spokesperson, such as agent Dan Milstein, who represents Russian players for the Blackhawks and other teams. The decision came amid growing threats to freedom of expression in the U.S. and abroad. Conservative political forces have sought to ban LGBTQ-themed books from American school libraries and ban classroom lectures that talk about sexuality and certain aspects of race relations. Similar pressures have forced Russian players to walk a cautious line since the invasion of Ukraine. And some speak cautiously against the war even while family members are still living in Russia. Last year, Minnesota Wild star Kirill Kaprizov encountered several roadblocks on his way back to the U.S., raising concerns about his safety. Buffalo Sabres captain Kyle Okposo said, "You are very sensitive to the issue and have concerns, especially for the Russians," stressing that he doesn't understand what it's like to be in Russia and grow up there. "And I don't think we can talk about the psychology of these players because we don't understand." Chicago defender Nikita Zaitsev is a Moscow citizen and there are other players in Russia who have family or other connections to the country. Zaitsev was not presented to reporters for comment on the matter. The Sabres and Vancouver Canucks have upcoming Pride nights. The Canucks did not reveal their specific plans for the event. The Sabres management were scheduled to hold talks with the player leadership group on Thursday, amid concerns over whether defender Ilya Lyubushkin would attend as he still has family in his back from Moscow to visit over the summer break. Lyubushkin and his family members may face a backlash in Russia, according to a Sabres employee with knowledge of the matter. Pride nights have become a common sight in the NHL. Ashley Landis, AP and other sports. Major League Baseball's Tampa Bay Rays members decided not to wear rainbow-colored logos on their uniforms as part of their Pride Night last season. Women's basketball star Brittany Griner, a gay American citizen, was arrested at Moscow's Sheremetyevo airport last year after Russian authorities said she was carrying boxes of e-cigarettes containing hemp oil. She spent 8 months in prison, pending a high-profile prisoner swap with the USA. Kurt Weaver, business manager You Can Play Project, which advocates for LGBTQ participation in sports, said he was sorry to learn of the Blackhawks' decision but described conversation as an indication progress. "We're definitely disappointed that jerseys weren't worn because it's the #1 visual representation of athletes themselves," he said. But he commended the team's dedication to the honor cases, which date back more than a decade. The Florida Panthers, whose star goalkeeper Sergei Bobrovsky is Russian, have planned to move forward with plans to play ahead of Thursday night's home game against Toronto. The jerseys are just one part of the many initiatives Florida includes in its annual event. The Panthers will also auction jerseys, then match the money raised and donate to nonprofits working with LGBTQ community. "As an organization, we have rightly decided to move forward with him, to support and celebrate him," said Panthers coach Paul Maurice. Teams in league and players in the league They right to have their opinions and we ours. Philadelphia Flyers Ivan Provorov refused to participate in pre-game warm-ups at the team's Pride Night in January, citing Russian Orthodox religion. Russia's Nikolai Khanzov and Alexander Barabanov wore Pride-themed jerseys for the San Jose Sharks on Saturday, when Canadian goalkeeper James Reimer refused to participate because he said it contradicted their religious beliefs. The Blackhawks have planned several LGBT-related events in conjunction with Sunday's game. DJs from the LGBTQ community will play before and during a recess, and the Chicago Gay Men's Chorus will perform. There are also plans to feature several regional businesses with ties to the gay community. "We don't want the kids to represent the whole night," said Blackhawks defender Seth Jones. "We still do a lot for the LGBT community and we respect that as players. We thought it was what was best for our team."